Carl and Dan here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short, and it's track by track time as we step into the full album world of Static Dress, and it is Rouge Carpet Disaster, not Rogue Carpet Disaster, as I spent weeks saying in my head, and then I spent ages training myself to say it properly. It's literally spelled Rouge. And it's the debut album from Static Dress, released May 18th, 2022. So there's a time recording. This is almost a year old.
Wow, that's gone quick. Feels like this album just came out.
Well, I certainly didn't listen to this album when it came out. In fact, this was, for this track by track, the first time I've listened to it fully. Obviously, I'm familiar with tracks from this album. I've seen this band live. I've watched videos of this band. And, oh, shit, I can't remember. Are they at Slam Dunk this year?
They are.
Then the plan is, I'm pretty sure I marked them up to see under my Clash Finder. I couldn't remember if they were clashing with anybody I wanted to see more. But the plan will be, considering it will have been...
I'm going to see Static Dress.
Well, it would have been a year and a half-ish since we last saw them at Slam Dunk, 2021. So, yeah, absolutely. And that was a killer show. That was awesome. So it'd be nice to sort of see, all right, cool, let's see the progression. You have this full album out now as well in that time. Let's see where they're at.
It's fucking long enough. It was like 3 years.
Well, it's the modern way of doing things, isn't it? No one now, you don't announce yourself in the scene with that full album anymore, do you?
It was Static Dress got frustrating for me. I love them obviously, but after 2 years of just singles, I was getting bored.
No, that's fair. That is fair. I feel like there was a lot of talk and then there wasn't, and then there was a lot of talk and then there wasn't. It definitely feels like there's peaks and valleys with Static Dress. And that certainly works to the album as well. But we're going to get into it, explore our feelings. I think you are probably going to be more interested in things I've got to say here, because I know you're a bigger fan of this band than I am, although I am on board, folks. I know it's Static Dress obviously has a hardcore fan base, like a lot of the modern bands. There's an insane section of a fan base. Whether it be for the likes of Sleep Token or Spirit Box or Static Dress, you lot are fucking weird. Stop being fucking weird, yeah? If I have any criticisms of these tracks, it's my personal opinion. It won't change yours, and guess what? It won't do this band any fucking harm. So chill, relax, and enjoy. Right. Flea House. That initial explosion of heavy is intriguing, but this one settles down into something more traditionally rock and never manages to recapture that initial intensity. Even though it has enough heavier twists and turns to excite, I like it as an opener. Don't love it, but I think it sets the bar nicely.
I enjoy this track for what it is, and there's a lot to enjoy. Like, you've got that big sort of solo closer to the end that I love. I think maybe as an opener, it falls a little flat. I don't have that much to say about this song. I generally, if I'm listening to the album, I will skip over this track.
That would make sense, because it's particularly because I would say you start with this one. You would start with Sweet. This one has a much more chaotic and raw taste, frenetic and furious sounding. It's much more my jam. And I like how the clean vocals come in, but the instrumental tempo continues to be intense. This is a really lovable track that I also remember being Killer Life.
Yes, we did hear it live. They were playing, they hadn't been released by that point, but yeah, this track is really good.
Yeah.
There's been a couple versions of it released, I'm pretty sure. They dropped it on the previous EP. I think it was a slightly more demo version.
Okay.
And then this was like a fully fleshed out version of it. And I really enjoy it. It's a great track. I don't come to Static Dress for heaviness. If I'm listening to Static Dress, I'm not like, because I'm like, I want to listen to something heavy. And I think they're doing what I want them to do really well here.
That's that's an excellent point. I went into this not really expecting too much, because I've heard a variety of Static Dress style songs. So like, when it comes to like genre placing, there was no part of me who's going, I expect now, because you're right. I don't think I want, like, we have enough chaotic, heavy, metalcore, hardcore-esque, metallic hardcore S bands already, so it's fine if Static Dress are going to experiment with that. That's fine, you know. Yeah, really well put. Yeah, okay. Push Rope, moodier and tinged with grunge. This has an interesting structure that feels messy until the chorus hits, and then it all comes together quite nicely. It's another solid track that I think, though, loses some of its luster by the end. Like, it kind of runs out of steam.
I love the song. I think the chorus is so
Chorus
fucking
is
catchy.
banging. Yep.
That chorus is like earworm level. Like something about how it hooks you is so good, and I really enjoy the energy they keep up the whole way through it. I really love some of the lyrics as well. I really, really do. Hold the song close.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We take different things out of it. All right. Attempt 8. A short-ish slice of hyper melody that has a really nice tone. The nice shift from what we've had so far, and quite memorable because it's not too long. I found I ended up really liking how this one feels.
Yeah, Attempt 8 is I really love this song, but it's
nice
really
song.
upsetting. Like it's a sad song. Is I can't listen to it all that much because you don't want to just get burnt out on that sort of thing. But I think it sits really well. And obviously sets up the next track. I love Attempt 8.
Mate, you're nailing the statements. What a wicked way to put it. You don't want to listen to this too much because you don't want to get burnt out in it. That is that's really strong stuff, Dan. All right. Courtney, just relax. I'm not talking to Courtney. That is the name of the track. Now, this is very chaotic. One of the heaviest sounding tracks on the album at first. The tone shift might not be as crazy, but it has a dark melodic threat that feels ready to go at any time. I thought that was really interesting. I almost was like, right, when's this going to kick off? I feel like it's ready to go. So when it does kick back up, it sounds particularly epic. I'm going to use this word. This is clever. This is a clever track.
Yeah, this song, particularly coming after Attempt 8, it feels like they just picked me up and just slammed me through the closest table they could find. It's fucked up. Like whatever was nearby, just it's heavy. It's, as you put, clever. I agree with that. And when it slows down, I'm cool with it because it makes up for it in those ridiculously like punchy parts. And then you do have that epic sort of clean chorus-esque thing, whatever you can call it. And it makes for really good music. Obviously you got the breakdown as well, which is wonderful for them. You don't find many breakdowns of Static Dress, I don't think, but when they do, it seems to pay off. I'm like, cool, well done.
Check this tracks out, folks. It's an interesting one. All right, Disinter. I'm not sure who King Yosef is, and I can't exactly say the formula was widely different. I should say King Yosef. It features King Yosef. I think I'm saying his name right there. But the formula isn't too different here. The heavy portions are notably good, but actually this time I find the melody shifts a bit blasé.
I like this song. I'm not huge on it. Decenter had been out for a little while before this album came out, so I was familiar with it, and maybe in standing of the album it comes a little lower because I had already heard it, and I seem to now skip over it because I've already heard it heaps because it was a single. I like the song, but it doesn't do loads for me. I have no idea who King Yosef is.
Yeah, I probably should have, because with our track by tracks, folks, we kind of try and keep it focused on exactly what we're doing. So, like, the last thing I'd ever do doing a track by track is start Googling because I don't want my opinion colored. The idea is, as you said, I do exactly the same thing. My notes are written as I'm listening to this. And then at the end of it, I print it out and I put it to the side and I'm like, that's it. That's where it ends, to try and keep it, I guess, as honest and true as possible. Such a shame. This is a pop punk song, and it's not a very good one. I care nothing for the boring rhythm and clean singing. But because I think it deserves a but, the chorus at least lights a little fire under things. Yeah, but overall this one, nah, bro, get in the bin.
Nah, man, I think you're wrong. I think you're
Oh,
straight
for real?
wrong.
Okay.
This was also a single, but it didn't come out too long before the album came out, so I wasn't particularly familiar with it. But I really like it. I think it sits quite well in the album.
Mm.
Between some of the more up. This is an album full of energy. Sometimes you need a song to slow you down a little bit, but I also think maybe with some of the fantastic melody and riffs that you've got, maybe this one I could see coming a little lower in the rankings. But I do think it is a good song.
It was bound to happen. We've gone all the way through this album up to this point without really having much in the way of a clear difference of opinion. We hit one now. Fascinating that you see it so good. I generally thought it was, as I said, it's not good. Like, I'm not even, I'm not really add beyond that. Okay, maybe more of the same, surprisingly, unsurprisingly. So, like, there's no big shock here, but this one has a bit more life. The stronger melodies and explosive moments of heaviness actually, for me, make this a bit of an anthem, a very catchy, quite infectious anthem. I did this track, and again, like, I always use this as a barometer. I went back and listened to it immediately again afterwards. It was like, oh, I want to do that one again because I think I can say a bit more, and it perked my ears up. So that was kind of like, oh, all right, this is probably a track I like then.
I'm not as familiar with the song as I don't hold it that close to me. I think it's good, and I don't have any bad thoughts about it really. I'm just like, I think there's better. I think there's better in this album. It's what, 11, 12 tracks,
Yeah.
40 minutes long. I think there's better, and
Well,
that's
I
it.
think there's better too. I think there's better too. I do agree with
Mm.
that. Yeah. But after such a shame, I think as well, sometimes when you've done going, oh, I didn't like that track. The next track is good. You're like, all right, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Lie Solution, a punchy beat, strong riffs, varied vocal styles makes this another hit for me. At the late stage of the album, and with what has come already, I was quite pleased that Static Dress was still holding my attention nicely. You know, when you are reaching the latter stages of what is a substantial album, not necessarily overtly long, but substantial, I was like, oh, cool, I'm still into this.
Yeah, I really, really like the song. That chorus is proper catchy. Um, and some of the verses, it doesn't slow down in energy, which I really appreciate, but maybe with how catchy that chorus is, the verses don't come up as high for me. Breakdown's cool
Yeah.
though.
Okay, all right. Unexplainable titles leaving you wondering why, in brackets, welcome in. I will point out that all of that, what I just said to you, is one word. It is no spaces between them. It is a mess of a title. And I'm going to say this, you ain't clever, you ain't funny, you just look like idiots. Dumb title aside, though, this is a punky little number that has enough body shaking moves to leave me feeling satisfied. Well done, Static Dress.
When the album came out, I fucking hated this song. I hated it.
Ooh.
And I made it really clear to everybody who was also listening to it. I was like, I fucking hate Welcome In, it sucks. It has, however, really grown on me since, and now I really like it. So I heard it and I was like, it just sounds like Sum 41, and I don't like Sum 41. Um, and I think I came with that, and I didn't like it at all, but I like it now. So
What are mine's for if not for being fricking changed? Come on. Marisol, notable for being the longest track on the album. Some atmosphere and a sense of jam room vibes at the start got my attention. The soft melody and vocals move things in a different direction as it grows into something quite relaxing and ambient. There is nothing like this anywhere else in the album, right? However, I still, even now reading back this and thinking about it, and I wrote it here, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I like it because it does a lot of elements I enjoy, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't belong. It feels wrong being on this record. So I'm proper on the fence with this one. I don't know if I like it or I just don't.
I can see what you're saying, and I can respect it. I don't think it necessarily has to belong or doesn't. And I think this is an album full of experimental songs to try loads of different things. It's genre bending. This maybe not genre bending as much. I don't know. It's what you'd expect from a kind of band like this ending an album like this. I think. I'm never a big fan of when bands do an ending song and make it acoustic. So I had because I love a bit ending song to be really epic and massive. Um, you're looking at me like
I've got one more track.
you have another track.
Cubicle Dialogue.
Oh, my bad. I seem to miss that one.
Yeah, this is the penultimate track. That's why I'm making that face. I'm like, wait, did I do an extra song without realizing?
No, you didn't. That's my bad.
All right, no worries.
Knowing that, okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't fit as well. I like it, but
annoyingly, what you just said there, right? If it was the ending track, I'd be more forgiving because I'd be like, "Oh, right, cool, it's how we fade out." I would feel like it would, but because we go to Cubicle Dialogue, and we'll throw this in now in the whole conversation, I think, because this is just one last anthem with a bit of pep and plenty of bounce. One of the most accessible tracks on the album, and very enjoyable because of that. So now you see my even more. I'm like, wait, why the fuck is Marisol jammed in between Welcome In and Cubicle Dialogue? That is weird.
I think I assumed that Marisol was the ending song.
Because you would think it would be the experimental finale track.
I know Cubicle Dialogue. I really, really like this song.
It's a good track.
Don't get me wrong. I've listened to it plenty of times. It is a treat, yeah. So I think whilst I was writing, I just thought Marisol was the ending track. Whatever. I like Marisol. Yeah. I like Cubicle Dialogue.
It's an interesting latter portion for an album that, as you said, I think you're right. There is a lot of experimentation going on it, and a lot of it will work. Not a lot of it doesn't work. Some of it doesn't work for me personally, more than anything else. But I do think it's all more weighted towards the win column than it is the lose column, in the sense that I took more from this and was pleased that I've now done the full album. And when I next see them live, by the time this goes up, I will have potentially seen them live, because by the time this goes live, Slam Dunk will be in the rear view mirror. By the time recording, it's ahead of us. So hopefully I'll be able to enjoy some of this in a live environment, understanding and knowing it a bit better. Because the first time I saw them, other than maybe one or two singles that I definitely didn't listen to regularly, I didn't know enough.
Yeah, because that was September 2021. We had just seen COVID in like the rear view. And we still weren't even sure really if stuff was going to shut down again, because I remember I've been to shows after that point that I had shows cancelled after that Slam Dunk day, so we still weren't in the clear. But I remember we did a couple of reactions to Static Dress, and they were controversial.
Some of the most downvoted or disliked videos on the channel. Well, I don't care. I don't care about that these days. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I said at the start, calm down, relax. If you love, for example, if you particularly love, like Dan, Such a Shame, fantastic. I'm genuinely chuffed that you get more from it than I did. But maybe some of the words I said about some of the tracks maybe you don't particularly like. But then, mind you, that insane side of the fan base will just tell you that every track's the best thing ever, and you should throw yourself off a bridge because you don't like the particular song. But we are going to give you, as always, a top 3 tracks that we think you should check out. Take it away. You can go with this one.
One's nice and easy. 3 tracks in a row on the album: Push Rope, Attempt 8, and Courtney Just Relax.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you have controversial. I've done Sweet. I've done Courtney Just Relax as well, and I chose Maybe.
Okay.
I think the obvious one there, the fact we both double up on it, is Courtney Just Relax. Maybe that is what you want to check out if you've only got time for one, but you do have a selection there to choose. Well worth it. It is Rouge, Carpet Disaster by Static Dress. You know what to do. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?